I'll be honest, I was a bit torn tonight on exactly what to make a video on. I had two options. Basically, A, I make a completely straight, regular, dead serious video on one of my favourite champions right now, Cull Obsidian. I really want to make more content on this guy. Or B, I make a funny but most likely very offensive commentary video on the insanity, the insane civil war that has broken out in the community over the past couple of days. Because when you see people like actively turning on each other in real time over a video game, you know that's not healthy. And obviously, I have things to say about that, but I stopped myself because I was going with that idea. I was ramping up, just thinking, okay, what am I going to say? What am I going to script this with? And then I stopped myself and I thought, okay, am I not just fanning flames and giving this issue more airtime than it deserves? And I thought probably yes. Probably yes. You know, there are times for criticism, and there are times when the community really just needs to band together and say, okay, we're going to get through this. This is one of those times, right? And I have done my bit of criticism. Right now, I made one positive video a few days ago, and to be honest, I'm just going to go dead straight for today. If we get 150 likes on this video, then I know for sure that people want to see my take on this, and I will make a video. But otherwise, other than that, I will not mention this again for the rest of the video. 150 likes. Let's talk about Cull Obsidian. So, Cull Obsidian obviously does not care about class gates, and I am basing the entire video idea here on something that Perky said during Kabam's live stream where they announced 9.3.
Let's get the slide deck up so we can see this really quick. We're not going to run through all these rewards, but you can take a screenshot, look at it later. There's a lot of juicy stuff, a lot of Tier 7 basic, a lot of everything that you're going to want. All right, 9.3 is going to follow the other Act 9 and Act 8 formats here. 6 quests, 3 paths each. We're trying something a little bit different. We're putting class gates on the lane to make it a little bit more interactive, so you can't just kind of go in with your new 7-star rank 4 Cull Obsidian and smash it in 2 seconds.
Yeah. It's quite funny now. It's quite funny now hearing him say that, but in Perky's defense, that's not on him, right? I'm willing to put good money on the fact that when he originally said that, Kabam were 100% intending to introduce like old school pre-nerf Act 6 class gates, where you need to take in like 4 7-stars of a particular class to get into a quest. I bet that they were 100% going for that, and that's what they told him, and that's why he said that. But, you know, then the community responded to it, then everybody went apeshit, and they kind of backed off and like, okay, let's just backpedal a little bit, and maybe make it so you only need like 1 champion from a particular class to get in. So I'm going to show you 2 bits of content today, because if I would have put just 1 quest for Cull Obsidian, let's be honest, it would only really be like a 5-minute video. And I like giving y'all the full shaft in my videos. So we're going to see 2 quests today. In the first quest, I take in a 5-star rank 1 version of Moon Knight for a bit of fun. And in the second quest, hopefully I don't take too many SP2s to the face, I take in a 5-star rank 1 version of Iron Patriot for even more lulz. Now, in this piece of footage, we go all the way to the boss. In the second piece of footage, we don't go all the way to the boss because it's in 9.3.6 and I cannot be asked to fight Dread Emperor Doom again. I hate that guy. But yeah, as you're going to see in this video, Cull does not care about class gates at all. We are going to bash through everything with my new 7-star rank 4 Cull Obsidian in 10 seconds because he is insane. And he also does not care about you playing badly. He does not care about the opponent playing weirdly. He doesn't care about getting hit. He can dig you out of weird situations that you may not think he's able to get you out of, right? Cull Obsidian is known as a very, very powerful character, but naturally that comes with it the assumption that he is fragile, right? You think when you have that much power in a kit, it needs to be balanced out with very little utility, right? You need to be able to take this character very few places in order for them to be balanced. So the slightest little instability in the node, and they're just useless. But when you add in the power level of 7-star rank 4 SIG 200, suddenly you know, the instabilities in the node, the little weaknesses in his kit, they start to iron out. And you're going to see, I mean, obviously this clip is funny. So that champion boss, that champion fight, he had 4 persistent charges, over 900,000 health, and he took it in 50 seconds, right? We're not even halfway ramped, and we still have 4 more fights, including the boss. And you already saw what he did to the boss in the intro, right? Courtesy of being Cull Obsidian, nice 116k median, by the way. The little clip of a fight I put at the start of the video, that's almost the entire fight. Like, normally you only see a little bit, but just because he's so stupidly fast, you often end up seeing quite a lot of the fight on the intro with Cull Obsidian. That's just something I've noticed making content on him. But yeah, you're going to see, not just in this quest, but also in the second quest, which I believe is an objectively difficult lane. It is a lane definitely targeted at high utility tech characters. You're going to see me get myself into some pretty sticky situations, and Cull's just going to dig me out like, yeah, I got you. I got you, bro. And yeah. Talking of getting his bro, there goes Corvus Glaive in 21 seconds. But regardless, now, a little bit of meat, while we just admire Cull Obsidian just destroy the rest of this lane, I have a bit of a story to tell you, because, let's be honest, we've all seen this before. Everybody grab their 3D glasses and popcorn and enjoy their daily dose of Cull Obsidian just destroying things. I am now telling a story. So, I'm fairly sure that I've started a war. I'm fairly sure I've accidentally started a war, nice 190k median, by the way, with a fellow content creator, Alison Edits. None of this is serious. But I'm fairly sure I've started a war with Alison. Well, not maybe me, but the people in my comment section. So, if you didn't catch my video last night on Silver Samurai, definitely go check it out. Pretty funny video. But Alison is a regular in my comment sections, and she left a comment, very kind comment, and someone had the balls to respond with, Cull Obsidian is better than Silver Samurai. Now, obviously, she said, no, he isn't. He just isn't. And, you know, we can have a debate about that. That's not for this video. But someone else had the balls to come in with Silver Midmurai. Nice 130k heavy, by the way. 24 seconds and the path is done. Now, that's pretty fucking funny. But don't piss off the content creator, is the lesson we're going to learn. Because what Alison did next is savagery on another level. So, I then go to sleep. I actually caught that interaction before I went to sleep. And I wake up the next morning, and Alison has posted a video called Cosmic, like, Speed Test or something. And I saw Cull Obsidian on thumbnail, and I'm like, shit. She's gonna, like, run Cull with no persistent charges, and then it's gonna be like Carnage or someone who wins just to hammer home the point that he's great. And actually, she said that Carnage was too powerful to be even put in that video, which is quite funny. With all the bullshit you need to go through to get Carnage to work, compared to an ordinary champion. And what I saw next literally had me laughing out loud. So, the footage she showed of Cull Obsidian, by the way, the boss is done, 34 seconds, 1.3 million health, nothing serious. Was against Realm of Legends Vision. So, all of the other Cosmic Champions did not have class advantage. And I thought, oh, well, you know, that's rubbing the salt in the wounds a little bit if he's going to be 4th on the list or something, and he's using class advantage. But I very quickly realised why. Because, you know, I thought, well, she's, you know, showing him with 3 persistent charges, which is very fair, and I thought, okay, that's a good test. That's a good test, because, you know, Cull now starts, thanks to his buff, with 3 persistent charges in Alliance War and Battlegrounds. So I thought, that's a pretty practical test compared to these other Cosmic Champions who start with nothing in Battlegrounds. So, okay, this is what Cull's going to be like. That's pretty realistic. And then I saw the next clip. So, just to prove a point, you clowns in the comment section who asked for it, in the middle of a Cosmic Showcase, number 3 was Silver Samurai. And he beat Cull Obsidian by 1 second. 1 second, you cheeky little bastard. 1 second, I swear to Christ. I have 2 things to say to that. 2 things to say to that. The first thing is, you said that Cull was ramped and Silver Samurai wasn't. Very funny, and you know why. And the second thing is, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, you used another heavy attack. You used one too many, and I think you know you used one too many. Anyway, I think I've started a war. So Cull Obsidian would have been like 3 seconds faster, by the way. But yeah, I think I've started a war, which is very funny. None of this is serious again. But yeah, no, that's quite funny. Now I'll keep talking about the commentary because I do actually have something important to say about this clip. So this lane in 9.3.6 is an objectively difficult lane, right? It's a difficult lane. It has some stuff going on with your striker, challenging defenders like Jean Grey, like Havoc, like mystic defenders like America Chavez or Morningstar that may not be the most difficult, but are definitely difficult for Cull Obsidian. And you're going to see an underrated tool in Cull's toolbox come to my aid multiple times here. So what we're used to seeing when we see Cull Obsidian gameplay is just a fat combo. He gets like this unparalleled damage burst where he just turns it on and does 2 million damage in 2 combos, right? That's what we're used to. But what we don't see a lot of is his SP3. His SP3. And what that does is it re-grants his Thanos favor buff, so that's how you get them back. And it obviously hits pretty damn hard. If you couple the SP3 with Rout, and or the Fury after Rout from the Awakened ability, and you couple it with some armor breaks, that can be a really, really nice safety net. And that's going to play into what I said earlier, that actually Cull's going to dig you out of a lot of pretty nasty situations when you might not expect him to. So I obviously have brought in Cull Obsidian to a lane where he does not belong. You are meant to bring in Ironheart to this lane, right? I soloed the entire of this lane itemless with a rank 3 Ironheart live on stream while joking with my friends, right? It was just automatic. She's so good for this lane. But you're going to see in this fight, and the next fight against Professor X, that Elsa Bloodstone is doing something irritating, and I'm going to end up having to use the SP3, and it is going to dig me out of a hole and just allow Cull to just take the reins in the fight, right? It's going to dig him out of a hole and actually give him a level of control, which is, you know, unique to only the characters that can deal the most massive amounts of damage on demand. So you can see here, the problem I'm facing is Elsa is purifying all of my debuffs. It's so annoying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up my SP3. I'm going to chuck off one more heavy attack. I got smacked because she purified my stun debuff. But you can see here, I have Rout. I have some armor breaks. I am down to relatively low health, and she's at around 50% health. Bang. Dead in 2 hits after the SP3. It was so fast I couldn't commentate it. I was in deep shit, and Cull was like, I got you. I got you. Let's just reset, take a minute with the SP3. It deals like 500,000 damage, and Elsa's down to like 2% down in 2 hits. You're going to see almost exactly the same thing in this Professor X fight. Here, he hits me with a soul-destroying intercept, and I'm actually going to get hit one more time in this video, and you're going to see that even though I'm down at like 2% health, here, I get faulted, he hits me, I think it's over, I'm at 2% health, I still have like 900,000 health of 9.3 boss to get through, or 9.3 path fight, and you're going to see I'm just going to go for the SP3. I'm just going for the SP3. It's all I'm doing. I'm ignoring the SP2, right? What I'm going to do, I'm going to take the Fury from my Awakened ability. I'm going to just trigger the Falter real quick, land a parry, land a heavy, and then I'm going to re-trigger Rout, and watch this. So Professor X is currently mind controlling me, which is annoying, so I can't throw my SP3. But you're going to see in a second, now the mind control falls off. He's at around 50% health. We chuck off the SP3, and boom, and fight's over. Fight's over. Just pause. Let me take control of the fight, says Cull Obsidian. Just let me do this. Now, I'm not going to be able to do this lane itemless. I'm not going to be able to do this lane itemless. A, because I suck. B, because it is quite difficult. But it's no shame using health potions, right? A lot of the videos I showcase on this channel are itemless, but it's really no biggie. We're trying to show that Cull is more versatile than you might think, that you can take him into lanes he doesn't belong, and he really doesn't care. And you know what? If I get smacked and I have to use a few health potions that are expiring, no biggie. So here, again, we're up against Morningstar. She's going to bleed me. The most dangerous thing in this match, however, is my gameplay, because it's not the first time I get smacked. And you're going to see here, we bait out the SP2, and then we go in for an absolutely devastating SP2. And by the end of this lane, I'm not actually fully ramped. I believe I have 8 charges coming out of this Morningstar fight. But yeah, did I not get smacked again? No, I could have sworn I got smacked again. No, we just, oh yeah, there it is. I tried to enter with a medium, and yeah, okay. We bait out the SP2, we end the fight, and now we have Jean Grey. Over 900,000 hit points of a very challenging defender that is 100% pointed towards characters like Jack-O-Lantern, characters like Prowler or Ironheart, who are designed to go down this lane, and indicated by the class node, by the class gate. Cull does not care. Cull does not care. While we haven't seen the same flashy 21-second fights that we saw in the first clip, we know he is so powerful. He has so much damage that damage is utility. And we're going to see this Jean Grey go down in like 55 seconds, less than a minute, to deal 940,000 health against a very challenging mutant defender on a lane where he does not belong, right? That is the thesis of this video if I had to sum it up. Apart from me just wearing a dressing gown, an unbuttoned shirt, and a top hat, right? Obviously, that's the main thing. But if you actually bothered to watch the video instead of checking me out, then, eyes up here, by the way, you'd notice some shit going on screen, which is pretty impressive. And yet, one more combo with Cull Obsidian, one more SB1, and that is just about all I have for you today. If you have made it this far, then congratulations. You have an attention span greater than that of a goldfish, and, go away.